how's it going, everybody? My name is Magnum Martel, and welcome back to another beautiful video here on my channel. The gaming space has been pretty quiet for the last 2 weeks or so, pretty much since the Overwatch controversy involving the cowboy Jesse McCree, and the fact that he's named after a former Blizzard developer who was in the Cosby Suite. There hasn't been a lot of gaming news going on. Either that, or I feel like a lot of things have been going on, and pretty much everybody's just been ignoring all of it. But it was only a matter of time before there was some kind of controversy involving Fortnite, because for some reason Fortnite, one of the absolute worst games I've ever had the displeasure of playing, yet is somehow super popular, always manages to get itself into some kind of hot water. So what have they managed to get themselves into today? Well, recently the game launched an Among Us style game mode. And by launched an Among Us style game mode, I mean they basically copied and pasted the entire idea. Now, it's no secret that the developers of Among Us do not own the idea itself. You cannot own the idea, but they are technically the first people to make that style of game, and Fortnite more or less copied everything about their game specifically. This whole thing reminds me of back when PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was real popular, and suddenly a bunch of other Battle Royale games started popping up. They tried saying that everybody was stealing their idea. So, let's take a look at what happened. Among Us devs share their frustration with Fortnite's imposter mode. The devs at Innersloth spot an imposter in Fortnite. Fortnite, I should say. Some Among Us developers are expressing their frustration with Fortnite's new limited-time imposters mode, in which they see a blatant copy of their own game. Fortnite debuted its imposters mode this week, and it's hard not to notice the similarities, you mean the blatant copies, to Among Us. Imposters allow up to 10 players to join a match, in which 8 players become the agents of the imagined order, and the other 2 sneak around as murderous imposters, and much like Among Us, agents are assigned to various objectives to complete. While imposters need to blend in as much as possible, agents win by completing their assignments or voting out all of the imposters, and imposters win by eliminating all of the agents, whether to be killed by them or by deceiving other agents into voting them out. Sound familiar? Well, it sure does to some of the Among Us developers. Community manager Victoria Tran lamented the fact that Epic hadn't reached out to Innersloth for a potential collaboration. It would have been really, really cool to collab, Tran wrote in a tweet referring to Fortnite's imposter mode. Like, game mechanics, fine. Those shouldn't be gatekept. But, at the very least, even different themes or terminology makes things more interesting. Okay, now, on the one hand, gatekeeping is absolutely fucking necessary, and you can absolutely gatekeep your mechanics if you want to. It kind of makes you an asshole, especially if you came up with something cool, but you know what? Honestly, Fortnite steals from fucking everybody, so personally, I think we should just gatekeep Fortnite entirely until it's finally dead, but that's just my opinion. It would have... Alright, so here's a tweet from Tran. It would have been really, really cool to collab. Haha, just sad indie hours right now. I mean, you guys made a fuck ton of money off of that game now. You've probably made enough that you're probably not considered an indie dev anymore. Meanwhile, Innersloth programmer Ariel Wallach hardly disguised her frustration with Epic when she shared a comic strip of someone stealing another's work. Everything in the world was already feeling insurmountable, so this was just another fun reminder of how tiny we all really are, she added in a tweet. And then there's this one here. Moving on. Anyway, I just feel pretty bummed, blah, blah, blah. Innersloth co-founder Marcus Bromander also chimed in and said that the company hadn't patented Among Us mechanics for the good of the industry. And you know what? That's good, Marcus. That is a good thing. It just sucks that even if you had patented it, Fortnite was going to steal it anyway, and they would have just changed things. That's kind of like EA patenting the Nemesis system of Shadow of War, and so nobody's been able to really copy it to the latter. But wished Epic had been a little more creative with Fortnite's imposter mode. It is really hard to put 10% more effort into putting your own spin on it, though, he asked. Programmer Gary Porter shared a comparison of Fortnite's imposter map and Among Us' scaled map, adding that despite not having worked on the particular map, he was kind of offended, and I don't blame him. This image here actually shows their map, and, well, yeah, it's a blatant fucking copy of their map. Like, Fortnite just straight up ripped off their map. Needless to say, the devs of Innersloth aren't amused by Fortnite's imposter mode, but hopefully their protests contribute to a greater awareness in major studios when they are making content inspired by much smaller studios' games. I can only imagine both studios benefiting from even a surface-level collaboration, and it sounds like Innersloth would have been more welcoming to such a thing. Alright, so that's the article. Here's the thing to understand. Epic Games, the people who run Fortnite, do not care. They have been stealing everything in that game from somebody else from the get-go. They're only collaborating with other massive companies like Disney and Marvel and fucking everybody else. They don't really care about little companies at all, and they definitely weren't going to give Innersloth a damn thing. What this is what Fortnite's been known for since it launched. It just blatantly carbon copying everybody else using legal loopholes to get away with it. I mean, over half of their fucking dances have been stolen from somebody. The thing is that the legality of it is that they can do this. You don't own the patent for the mechanics or the design. They can take it. Now, I'll absolutely straight up admit it. Straight up ripping up off the map and just copying and pasting its design and then making it a small 3D space in their game, that was bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. It is unacceptable. You straight up stole the map. You couldn't even come up with your own. It's one thing to not change the words, you know, it's a good mode. Let's face it, the whole idea of that game was inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing. So I understand not changing the names, but to straight up just copy their fucking map, that's bullshit. That's unacceptable. But that's the industry that we all sit in here today, where someone big and has lots of fucking money, like Epic Games with Fortnite, they can basically do whatever the fuck they want, and unless you own a legal patent, you're not going to be able to stop them. And even if you do, there's a chance they'll just fucking pay off the goddamn judge to rule in their favor. You know, back when Fortnite first fucking launched, there was controversy with multiple people, not just dancers and people on YouTube and Vine and even fucking TikTok, but with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, where they were just like, so you just fucking ripped off our game and copied it. And yes, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from somebody else's game for your game. That's one of the things that makes the gaming industry so fucking great. All creative industries, really, is that if somebody else comes up with something fucking awesome, you can take some inspiration from it and put your own spin on it. But Fortnite has this reputation where it doesn't put its own spin on anything. It just straight up copies and pastes it and puts it in its own game. And it's also not fair to these smaller developers that they can do this and get away with it. Because on the one hand, yes, you don't own the concept of the game. It's the same argument with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, that you can own the game. You can own its content, you can own its assets, but you cannot own the concept. The concept alone, everyone should be allowed to use. But Fortnite, you could have at least had the common decency, despite the fact that you didn't have to at least alter your fucking skins and your fucking map to not be a blatant rip-off. It's a professionalism thing. You might not have to do it, but you should do it out of respect for the people that you're taking your fucking ideas from. And this is part of the reason I can't stand Epic Games as a company, or the game Fortnite, because it takes everything that it's got from somebody else who put hard work and dedication into their fucking ideas, all because it's big and it's popular and they can get away with it. They have no professional courtesy to other developers in the entirety of the industry whatsoever. But what can you expect from a company with that much fucking money, with that much fucking power, with that much fucking social justice Twitter activist following? And it's only a matter of time before you go too far and you copy someone who has the money and the power to not only call you on it, but to take you to fucking court over it. Because eventually, like you always do, you're gonna get too big for your britches. And you know what? To the Fortnite team especially, fuck you. Just fuck you. Not because you made a terrible game that kids love, but because you go out of your way to steal from others. That's why. Fuck you. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. My name is Magnum Martell. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this Fortnite controversy, and if the Among Us devs are correct in your opinion to be upset and frustrated with the blatant theft of their idea. and I will see you in the next video.